and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of Raw Out of 10. And yeah, first Raw after the Raw Rumble, and it's fair to say it was a pretty divisive Rumble. Some people weren't really too huge fans. I thought it was decent enough. But yeah, coming into the Raw after the Rumble, building stuff up for WrestleMania, so let's get straight into it. With Adam Pearce, he kicked off the show to talk about coming Elimination Chamber, where Bobby Lashley will put his championship on the line. Lesnar and MVP interrupted and came out to celebrate their win last night before Brock Lesnar made his entrance as well in full ring gear. Lesnar wasn't happy about events at Rumble and called Lashley a fake champion. Brock said since he won the title at WrestleMania Rumble, he said he could choose whoever he wanted at WrestleMania. Lesnar then added that he plans to face Roman Reigns, but it'd be a title v title match after winning the title at Elimination Chamber. MVP rejected the challenge and Brock had a stare down before Adam reminded him that his title will be on the line at the Elimination Chamber. Brock asked Pearce to be added to the Chamber match and Adam promptly made it official as Lashley walked out. Yeah, decent start to the show. I mean, like, it kind of does defy a bit of logic, but you know, Lesnar and Lashley in the Elimination Chamber match, I mean, I kind of more than take it happily, so. Next up was Rhea Ripley versus Nikki ASH. Rhea started off strong and both women got out of the ring early on when Nikki got on the apron to get the advantage. After a break, Ripley got some big counters before hitting a basement dropkick. Rhea then got the Northern Light suplex for a near fall. Nikki got a jab to the eye of Ripley before hitting a tornado DDT. Rhea countered a big crossbody and got the Riptide to pick up the victory. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Decent enough match. Solid win for Rhea. And yeah, kind of feel a bit sorry for Nikki ASH, but you know, hopefully she'll get some momentum soon. Riddle and Gable were backstage and were set to face each other in a scooter race. The race was 50 laps and R-Truth waved it on. Before Alexa Bliss was still at the therapist's office, the doctor brought out a replica of Lily and made Alexa very happy as the show moved on before we got The Miz versus Dominic. The A-lister had the advantage early on and went out to taunt Ray as Dominic gained the advantage. The A-lister then went outside and shoved Ray before he made a fake interference Ray and he got ejected. The Miz took Dom out with a skull-crushing finale as soon as Ray was ejected to pick up the victory. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Decent enough match. Miz getting the win. Heel tactics, you know, it's fine. We were then on the 18th lap of the scooter race and Riddle was in the lead. Amos got in the way of the race and led to Gable taking the lead as the lads reached a halfway point in the race. Apparently the race was going to end ringside before Kevin Owens was out next on Raw with a KO in show and said that he was going to enter the Elimination Chamber, but only if he beats Austin Theory. KO then called his guest Seth Rollins, who kept saying he wasn't 100%. They ran for the Universal title match, and KO said Seth was a Universal title in his heart. Seth announced his entry without a qualifying match. KO asked Rollins to ensure his entry into the Chamber match, but Seth said it couldn't be done. Austin Theory made his entrance and we got straight into the match. Owens had the early advantage and got some big moves in before Theory fled the ring, but was hit with a cannonball. KO dragged him back into the ring, but he rolled out again before knocking Owens at ringside. After a break, Owens missed a splash in the ring before Austin got a neck breaker and a back breaker before getting a near fall. KO then got a super kick before getting another near fall. Owens then got a suplex off the ropes before missing a powerbomb. Theory got back onto the ropes and picked up the ATL for the victory. Yeah, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Really, really solid match. Gives Austin Theory a big win as well. But yeah, the match was fun and teasing tensions between Rollins and Owens. Riddle was back in the lead with 11 laps left in the race as Otis handed Gable a cup full of steak sauce to drink, which I found not honey before. We got Ziggler versus Angelo Dawkins. Ziggler had the early advantage with a super kick and a neck breaker. Dawkins came back with a clothesline and a bulldog for a near fall. Dawkins was then ready to hit his finisher, but this was reserved by Dolph for a DDT. Dawkins blocked the super kick and hit his neck breaker finish. The drill bit for the victory. Yeah, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 to be honest. It was kind of a meaningless short match. Yeah, I really could have done a bit more here to be honest with you. But then moving on, Riddle was set to win the scooter race after Gable fell down and hurt his knee. Otis then came out and knocked Riddle off his scooter before Gable got up and got the victory. Riddle got in the ring and called Gable out for cheating. Gable said that if it called for a match, but Riddle would be facing Otis, not him. And yeah, it turned out to be an elimination qualifier match, and Otis got the early advantage and got a near fall before locking in the hold. Riddle was being knocked around at ringside before he got some ripcord knees. Riddle then got the floating bro on a knee of Otis before going for the RKO, but the tag champ blocked it. Riddle rolled him up with a top rope move and got the win. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Solid enough match. It kind of came out of nowhere, especially with rumours that Riddle might be winning thing. But yeah, we'll just see where that goes. But yeah, I kind of didn't feel like after doing such goofy shit before they deserved to be getting placed into Elimination Chamber match. But we'll see where it goes. Next up was Carmella versus Bianca Bella. Carmella was locked in a hold early on before Belair shoved her down and taunted her in Raw. Carmella was being chased around the ring. Before they got back to the ring, Carmella got some big kicks and Bianca took some big shots in the corner before Carmella locked in a headlock. Belair broke out and hit the KOD for the victory. Yeah, I'll give it 6 out of 10. Decent enough match and definitely the right result. I kind of worry though Bianca's getting a bit lost in the shuffle, but we'll see where it goes heading into Mania. Alexa was back on Raw and was convinced that Replica Lily was the real thing. Before Otis and Gable were backstage and announced that the final game in the Academic Challenge would be a quiz bowl. We'll see what happens in that. Before we got Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles in the final qualifying match. Rey and Styles traded holds as the match started, and AJ got a big tackle before Mysterio hit the head scissors with a top rope Rana. Rey then dropped AJ on the apron, but Styles caught him with a knee off the dive to the outside to get back in control. AJ sent Rey into the barricades, and as Raw headed for a break, back to the match, Rey hit a big DDT and a crossbody, and before getting a 619 dodged. AJ then tried for a Stars Clash from the ropes, but Rey blocked it and hit a 619 off the mid splash. AJ got the Stars Clash off a counter to pick up the win. Yeah, I'll give it 7 out of 10 even. Really great match you'd expect between these two, and for me, the right winner as well. But moving on then, Ronda Rousey was out next for a Raw return and said she had been debating who she would challenge. She said both were undeserving before Becky made her entrance and taunted Ronda, and Ronda hit a judo throw on her before grabbing the mic and saying that she would have her answer on Friday. Lita then came out on Raw challenging Becky to a match at Elimination Chamber. Becky said no at first before Lita taunted her into accepting the match, and Raw went off the air. Didn't see this coming. I thought maybe we get Lita versus Charlotte at Mania, but Lita v Becky, what a match that's going to be. Really can't wait for that. Definitely a pleasant surprise. Yeah, can't wait for that. And yeah, Ronda, I kind of worry she's going to pick Charlotte. I would definitely prefer Becky, but you know, we'll see, I suppose. Overall, this week, Raw gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Actually, a really enjoyable episode of Raw this week for me. Thought it was solid from start to finish. Lots of good stuff in there. Storyline building developments for Elimination Chamber. Yeah, I think it'll probably get a lot of dick this Raw, but you know, on the whole, I actually thought it was a pretty decent show. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts, comments down below. Follow my Twitter, link description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel and stream right now. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.